Madueke is a here we go. We have some Caicedo negotiation updates and a potential move for Bissouma in a swap deal. Welcome to the Casually Chelsea show. Welcome everyone to the Casually FC channel. I'm accompanied here by Scott, Chris, and yours truly, Marshalldbdx, the host. Make sure you're checking out the links in the description. Hit the bell notification, don't miss any of our future streams. Subscribe and check out. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think. Big up to everyone in the chat. Let me just go ahead and get this show on the road. Let me get our first tweet here loaded up. So, if you guys haven't already known, Noni Madueke is officially a Chelsea player. Let's start off with Fabrizio's tweet right here. Noni Madueke, here we go. Verbal agreement in place with PSV on permanent deal. Madueke will sign long-term deal in few days, strongly wanted by Chelsea board. Contracts being prepared. This was, 2 days ago? They were even tracking his plane, which is crazy.
That's there's no shock there.
Yeah, remember when we did that for Lukaku?
We did. Better was like on that.
We were so excited. Next tweet right here, Rick L. Frank. I don't know, but this is details on the contract right here. Chelsea was signed Noni Madueke until July 2031. So that is a 8-year deal. A huge contract for the former PSV player. The medical examination today, and there's still paperwork to complete. He won't play tomorrow against Liverpool. This was done 2 days ago. And then the following tweet, officially announced by Chelsea, confirmed Noni Madueke has joined Chelsea from PSV Eindhoven. Chelsea is the best club in London. Of course, I'm really pleased to join one of the best clubs in the world. To return to England and play the Premier League is a dream for me, Madueke says. And here we got proper baller, proper minerals. You know, let's have it right. This guy's the real deal. Guys, okay, listen, we'll discuss, right? But we were talking about this last stream about being excited about this player. He's definitely talented. Concerns with the injuries, obviously I get where that's coming from. I think Ahmed, I believe you were the one that mentioned that they're muscle injuries. So
yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, so let's talk about this guy. Obviously, going around the panel, you guys excited about this one? A right winger from PSV Eindhoven. He's got good dribbling ability, decent pace on him, has a shot in him. Only issue is he's partially injury prone. Your thoughts, guys?
I'll start with this one, if you guys don't mind. He looks like a good talent, don't get me wrong. We got him for a good price as well. So, if he does end up as a bust, but we hope, of course, that doesn't happen, we can take the hit. But he looks like a good player. And ideally, hopefully, these muscle problems are just maybe him going through the ages.
Where the muscle problem is, by the way?
No,
I'm not too sure, but
Scott, you cut off a little.
It doesn't transfer market. It just says muscle.
Oh, okay.
So whatever it is, hopefully you just like a part of a growing pain, maybe something like that. Where sometimes as you grow, you do get these muscle problems as a player. So you just have to hope that is maybe like an Iron Robin situation with Madueke. So again, the last right winger we got from the Eredivisie, it didn't really pan out that well so far for him. We just hope, Madueke doesn't have a Madueke, and that he can complement Mudryk. He's going to be on the left, and then Felix in the middle. So I just hope that works, and I look forward to seeing him at Fulham.
Oh yeah, Fulham would be his debut if he plays, which I hope he does, depending on his obviously his injury condition. But all right, Chris, you're not a big fan. Let's go ahead and hear what you have to say.
Shock horror.
Well, no, because we just signed another attacker where we don't really need another attacker. We need a midfielder or a right back for Reece James, because let's face it, we're struggling on the right back side. That's another reason why do we need another attacker. And he doesn't really excite me because one, he gets injured a lot every season. I've seen it. He can get injured for 2 months or a month. And then I have seen some of his highlights, but it doesn't really look many different from I guess what we see from like Timo and stuff like that. Like you just run in. I haven't seen too much like techie business, what people say, but I'm not really excited for it. I don't think we really need him, but I think he'd be a future for like either loan him out or bench.
Jesus Christ, that's a bit scathing, to be honest.
Pardon?
That was a rather scathing assessment.
No, but like I really don't see any like future with this guy at Chelsea, to be honest. But I could be wrong. Like the one thing I like about what Chelsea are still doing though, we are scouting players, like not known players. I don't know who this guy is really. I know.
The thing is, though, Chris,
got rejected from Tottenham's youth.
Chris, the thing that I would say to you is that I don't know if you've heard reports about Ziyech is on the move, man. In January, they're looking to get Ziyech a move.
Yo, you are shameless. This agenda is so strong.
One second, Marshall. Yeah, I'm not actually reading. This is not the actual agenda. This is just facts. Yeah,
every other sentence is Ziyech with you, bro.
I just let them know he is Ziyech. But genuinely, I'm actually being genuine here. Ziyech is actually being open to our moves in January, right? And if Ziyech leaves, Madueke is your primary right wing option.
See, we have Ziyech, who I'd actually rather prefer to keep. And look what Ziyech is doing right now. Like he's doing pretty well. His nasty through balls or whatever or crosses. He's got a good pass on him. I don't know. I'd rather Ziyech as like a rotational bench player, or potential start if he's good enough.
So even if he's Chris, let's say even if we say Ziyech becomes a bench player, who's gonna start for you at right wing?
Ziyech and Sterling.
You know, I can't lie to you. I totally forgot Sterling existed, you know. I'm so sorry. If only Side is coming in, I generally forgot Sterling was still at the club.
You will see him cook.
I am actually shameless, you know.
He goes to the Netherlands and he starts thinking about freaking Anthony, De Ligt, and all these other country people.
Bro, I generally forgot Sterling was still at the club. I'm so sorry. I actually forgot Sterling was at the club, but sorry, guys.
It's all good, man. I mean, Scott, I would like for you to drop the facts and have your say on this character.
I like the move.
Teach Chris the way, man.
I like the move because I like the price. There are pros and cons to it. Number one, like he is a homegrown. He counts as a homegrown. I'm fairly certain. So he'll fill our quota for that. Like he puts us one in, so that means you can free up a space by getting rid of someone else, which will be good because some of the homegrown team needs to be moved on. That's not the move because I think it gives us a good option going forward. I think I just think that it works going forward. I think that he offers. The thing that I like as well actually is the fact that he is a similar-ish player to Mudryk in terms of the way he wants to pick up the ball. He wants to beat players on the dribble, and I like the fact that we've got two players that can do that. We're not over-reliant on Mudryk or Madueke to do that. If both of them play, and if you have Felix on the pitch, we've got players that can create space all for each other and whoever the number 9 is. That mean that these players can thrive with more space. You know, they're able to find passes easier. They're able to find shots on target easier. Then we start to actually judge what some of these players are like, because it's like some of these players who I don't rate at all or don't think are good enough to continue at this football club, I might be proven wrong about. Havertz may become, Havertz, for example, he may become a serviceable player with these players around him when he starts getting space and being able to get good chances on goal and a decent number of chances on goal. He might suddenly start getting goals and turning into a decent player. Similarly with I'm trying to think who else, Broja when he comes back, maybe we can start to judge him a bit better than when he was in this team and he's having to do everything in the attack by himself and he's 20. I do like the move.
Maybe even Aubameyang, to be honest. You never know, man. Even Aubameyang.
It's Aubameyang's a lost cause, not because he's a bad player, but because this club going forward is
fair enough.
Younger team. We're going the same route that Arsenal went. Look at Arsenal's team right now. We're going a similar route. The odd elder player in a Xhaka, our player might be Kante in the kind of as a mirror, or our elder player might be Silva if he wants to stay another year. But for the most part in the team, we're going younger. We're going slightly younger. We're going it's just I just think Aubameyang's a lost cause. Again, not because he's a bad player, but just because it's quite clear Potter doesn't rate him as much as he rates Havertz. And I just think like he's not a long-term option here, so it is what it is. But I do like the move, and I like the fact that it's a profile of player apart from Mudryk we didn't have. That's always good.
One thing I like about him. He's got a left foot on the right wing, so like that's pretty good as well. Getting a left footer for the right wing side, so that's the one thing I know. Like he's got. So yeah, I don't know much about him, but I could be wrong.
Also,
I
well,
hope I'm wrong.
Because I need to fully research whether he would count, but I'm fairly certain that because he used to be in Tottenham's academy and he's still because he's 20, I'm fairly certain that he is able to be registered on the B list for the Champions League. So that means that we still do have one more spot on the A list that we can use. Because you can have on the A list, you can have a maximum of 3, you can add a maximum of 3 players. Change 3 players. So that would be Mudryk, Badiashile, and one other. Which, if we're going to sign Caicedo, that means we have a space for him. So,
what about if we do get, let's say, hypothetically, let's say if this Gusto guy comes in, how is it? So what? He's just not going to be a part of the Champions League squad?
Potentially not.
Damn.
Which, to be fair, I wouldn't be necessarily mad with, because I'm more than happy for the Champions League playing Aspi. Because I think in the Champions League, I'm not saying he's good, but I'm saying he's serviceable. Because in the Champions League, you can get more time and space on the ball sometimes, and you can find ways to make it work. In the Premier League, it's slightly harder, just because the pace of the league is a bit quicker. And so I think I'd rather have Gusto for the league. Plus, as well, the league comparison in terms of the moving from Liga into Premier League is considerably easier than someone coming from the Bundesliga. Traditionally speaking, I mean, it's a lot easier than coming from the Bundesliga or the Serie A, etc. And so if we do sign him, the league, the physicality of the league shouldn't be too different. So he should be able to quickly acclimatise.
So I'm
fair
glad
enough.
you brought up the right back situation, because on the topic of the right back situation, we have here a tweet from Fabrizio, something he said on the YouTube. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, let's get this. All right, Chelsea are tracking right backs, and one they are definitely monitoring is Malo Gusto. You guys just brought him up. They are following him, and he's been on the list a long time. Denzel Dumfries is also on the list, but no official bids have been made. I guess no official bids have been made for either of these guys yet. Not quite sure what's holding it up. I think this is the latest I was able to find on the right back situation. I think right now, primarily, the main focus of this week has been Madueke, getting that across, and also trying to get some negotiations and bids for Caicedo. But it looks like these two guys are the primary targets. I'll say I don't know much about Malo Gusto. Being that he's from the French league, I think there's promise there. I've noticed that a lot of these... Is he young? I don't know how old he is.
19 turning 20.
And you know another thing, apparently. He's apparently can play right midfield and centre backs.
That's not bad.
Apparently.
That's not bad. Well, okay. I mean, we'll see.
We just
I don't
prefer him
want
to
him.
stick for one position. At Chelsea, he's better to stick at one position than, multiple positions in it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I
You
do
know,
record, man. You might have to fill in somewhere.
yeah,
Also-
that is fair enough.
True.
The fact that we've been linked with 4 right backs is good. I'd say I don't think we will sign a right back personally, but I like the fact we've been 4 right backs. And I'll say now, of all the 4 we're linked with, Denzel Dumfries is comfortably at the bottom of that list for me.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree strongly.
He's not a bad player, but there's certain attributes he lacks that the others we're linked with don't. I'm like.
I just don't think he's the right profile of right back that we need
Yeah,
for this team.
I just think for me, you need someone with the overall package in it. We don't want guys that have one positive and then they have like a few weaknesses as well. You just want someone that's can do all their bases to a good enough level. As a cover, that's what you need, isn't it?
Yeah, and the other thing too, I mean, I really don't. I wish I knew more about this Malo Gusto guy so I can actually have a better opinion on him. But I kind of agree with what Scott is saying. I think we discussed this in the last Casually Chelsea show. We're talking about, is it possible that we only go for a DM this season, and then in the summer we go for a proper right back target? Because not going to say that these aren't good right backs. I'm sure they're great right backs. I just feel that it kind of feels panic buy to me, if you know what I'm saying, guys. I don't know if you guys get the same one.
Gusto is being tracked by multiple clubs though. Like he's actually very, very, very talented. He's like one to watch, basically, essentially, after the young crop of right backs. But I know the Caicedo deal apparently is going to be the main thing the club is focusing on this week. So maybe in the last week of the transfer window, if the club decides to move for right back, we'll see then. But maybe that might be something they do in between the transfer windows, like they did with Nkuku, where he comes in the summer. Well, you never know again.
So, and then the other thing, I mean, I'll bring it back to this with Madueke, we were just talking about. A lot of people have been saying like, oh, waste of a signing, all that stuff. You know, you have Chris saying here it's kind of a pointless signing, that he thinks that at least. I don't think it is. If Ziyech were to go, right, Chris? If Ziyech is not interested in being in the club, I don't think just having Sterling in the right wing position when he should be competing in the left wing with Mudryk is suffice.
But when you got Sterling who can actually play right wing, you may as well use him.
That is not his okay. I know people say his best season is at right wing, but still, I'd rather just have him play.
I'm not saying he's better at right wing. I'm just saying he's good there.
He is good there, but I don't think this might be a hot take. When both are fit, I don't think Sterling can play right wing better than Noni Madueke, who naturally plays there.
Alright, and then let me give you a scenario, yeah? Okay, we have to rely on him, yeah? You're saying he has to be the main guy, yeah? You're saying he should be the starter. But when he gets injured, then he's gonna get injured a lot. Then we've lost him every time. He's gonna get injured like every season. We'll see.
It depends, because this is one of those things that he could come to Chelsea and all of a sudden he's more fit and gets injured less. It's very possible. But I think also with the right wing situation, if Ziyech were to stay, I would probably want Ziyech to stay and Madueke to try to earn the spot over Ziyech. But I mean, we'll see. I think this is a signing that's going under the radar for a lot of people. I don't think people know enough about Madueke. Also, another thing to realize, it's 35 euros for an 8-year contract. You know how cheap that is for this quality of a player?
25 or so. Oh, okay.
35 million euros.
I'm just gonna say, to be honest, when it comes to replacing Ziyech, I mean, it's not really a hard job, is it? Currently at the football club, Ziyech. So let's be real here, guys. And the other thing
apparently it is a hard thing to do because we can't even ship him out.
But the general thing is, the club is going to do a 5-star. So Pulisic and Ziyech are more than likely going to leave. And then that's going to leave.
Pulisic to leave though?
Yeah, because Pulisic is injured. No one's going to buy into the player. It's only going to be in the summer one.
We just bought an injured player.
He's not injured.
He's not injured. What are you talking about?
Oh,
he just played last.
Okay, you mean okay. I think you meant like an injury player. No. I'm just saying Pulisic is injured right now. No one's gonna buy into the player right now. They're going once he's come back to health and he can pass a medical. That's when he'll be brought. Same with Ziyech. January deals are very hard to be done. We're somehow doing them because we're just paying a lot of money for them. But it's very hard to get deals done in January. So again, these guys are going to be sold in the summer, and then you're gonna have Madueke, Mudryk. If Felix goes up over the line, you're gonna have Felix at the club. Maybe another number 9 if the club decides to go for another number 9. Yeah. So guys need to leave. Ziyech needs to leave back to Ajax.
You're so absurd right now. But you know what? If he does go, he goes. I'm not saying he should stay at the club, but if he plays well, if he wants to stay here, if he likes what Potter is cooking up, if Ziyech's attitude towards the club and wanting to play for Chelsea changes, then by all means he could stay if he wants. I think here's the other thing, and Scott brought this up that I talked about this yesterday. I think bringing in these other players that now that we see them being brought into the club, we're seeing just the drastic differences in quality and technicality and ability. João Felix and Mudryk alone being prime examples of it. Even Badiashile, you can even argue that he looks really solid back there. But now that we have these other players, I feel like it does actually help us unlock the potential of other players. Like we I don't know. I'm not trying to just, be a Kai sexual here, but it's possible that Havertz's game improves as a result of having these better players around him who maybe open up more space for him and all this and that. And even players like Ziyech, maybe he starts getting more returns on his crosses, more returns on his assists, because people like to complain about Ziyech being a cross merchant and all this stuff. Listen, it's not so much that Ziyech likes to spam crosses that's the issue. I think the overlying issue is that there's no one there to finish off the chances he creates. And hence, people criticize Ziyech, even though the real criticism should be pointed at the fact that his chances are wasted. So maybe these new targets, Madueke, Mudryk, these new players that are bringing in, Felix, maybe they can't finish the job, and maybe they bring the best out of the other players that we've been kind of wanting more from. I don't know if you guys share that same opinion, or if you think that could be a possibility.
Maybe for some, but not for all. That's what I'm gonna say. You can guess you there.
Just say it, bro. Just say it. Maybe for some, not for Ziyech.
Maybe I think of Havertz, man.
Team and almost finished one of those fucking Ziyech crosses I've been wanting Timo Werner to finish for fucking 2 seasons in a row now.
To be fair, Ziyech could have also made a final ball, but when he was trying to shoot for some reason to Mudryk, and we could have been 1-0 as well at the same time. So tomatoes.
That is true. But that was one out of how many chances Ziyech tried to create last night?
Listen, at the end of the day, man, we'll see in it. I think we will. Bring these players in. The Premier League, essentially, we're not fighting for top 4, to be honest. It's just about, gelling the new guys into the squad and seeing how they play. So maybe we'll see them.
Okay, that's another question I wanted to ask you guys. You know what? I'll save it for after this next topic that we're going to talk about. Let's talk about the Caicedo updates. All right, I got some tweets here for you guys. Let me load it up again. Here we go. All right, Moises Caicedo updates. So this is kind of the latest I was able to scrap up between the recent few days. So 2 days ago, this came out from Simon Phillips. Brighton will let Moises Caicedo go if their terms are met. They won't stop the player from leaving if he wants to go. They want £75 million. I'm not sure yet if Chelsea will go back in, but they might try and make it up in bonuses, which I think is very fair, and that's a good way to go about doing the business. The price for this guy is very high, but then again, what good midfielder isn't at a high price? So I get it. Moises Caicedo's potential transfer to Chelsea is still active, and I'm hearing talks have continued between them and Brighton. Chelsea are pushing to get it done, ideally with add-ons to push it to Brighton's valuation. Another one from Simon Phillips, and another tweet right here. Oh, yeah, that's actually the latest that I have, considering.
There was another one from by the Secret Scout. That was on yesterday, actually. The Secret Scout.
All right, I'll look for that while we discuss what we have right now so far. But pretty much, yeah, we're still negotiating with Caicedo. They want £75 million, which I'm not gonna lie, that is a hefty fee. Do I want Chelsea to pay it? I do, because I think this guy would be the difference between us. I think if we get a Caicedo in, or a Kessie, which has been linked, and I'll try to find those tweets.
Oh no, that's been I just want to say about Kessie, it's been confirmed that he's staying, I'm afraid, bro.
Yeah, he's not coming, Marsh. You should know better.
Come on, bro, man. This is Barcelona, man. Wakey, man.
You okay there?
I'll see you guys later.
Sorry. Your favorite bum ain't coming.
Oh, that was harsh, Chris. He's
pulling that face right now.
Chris, you have some shoddy takes tonight. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. All right. Well, anyways, with the midfield situation, depending on what happens, right? I think this will be the difference between us still struggling and us actually improving, and possibly, this is going to sound outlandish, guys, but I'm going to say it, possibly us still competing for top 4.
We're not getting top 4, bro.
We're not getting top 4. Come on,
Hey,
man.
I might hear top 6, Marshall. If you say top 6, you never know.
Just
No, not even top 6. Not even top 6.
If
The
it
thing
ain't
is,
top
we
6, then we're not.
we could
I
easily
don't
get top 6. I just don't want us to.
Yes.
You don't want.
I
any-
think from
you
a
know what?
calculation.
Oh, go on.
No, I don't want Europe next season.
Mm.
I fully don't
I
want.
was just gonna say from a calculation point of view, top 4 is still possible for us, of course.
Yeah, I know it.
You know,
I know it. It requires us.
I know
to
it is, but the reality is, you know, the reality is, our team is not, consistent enough to get those points that we need to get top 4. So it's not happening.
Listen, hear me out, okay? Anyone who's been on the channel for a while now. Also, by the way, if you're here right now, if you're watching, smash the like button, please. It helps out the channel big time with the algorithm. And you're enjoying it, and you want to hear my bad take? Well, let's hear it, okay? Smash the like button for the bad takes, okay? Listen, so if you guys have been here for a while, you know that I have pretty much thrown away the season, okay? I pretty much was in the mindset like, listen, this is a throwaway season. We're not going to get anything out of this. It is what it is, right? But now that I've seen how the team has slightly been improving with the new signings, I'm thinking that now when we come back from the international break, Potter's going to have players returning from injury, newer signings, hopefully a midfield, right? Maybe not a right back, but I think we can get away with it.
Actually, I think Reece James will be ready by Fulham. I think Reece James too will be ready by Fulham. Yeah.
Also, on a complete side note, just going back to the league thing, I just did some calculations. For us to get top 4 based on the lowest points total that has got top 4 in the last 10 years, we can only lose a max of 5 games for the rest of the season.
Come on, Potter.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Listen.
We need 12
halfway
wins.
through the
We
season.
need 12 wins and a draw from 18 games.
Yo.
It's not
And we have to buy Newcastle to lose a couple, and then obviously no Tottenham to go further.
Well, obviously, it does depend on other
Yeah,
teams.
Ollie,
right?
Ollie's
no.
saying, right? It's still possible in the same way Everton could finish 8th. Yeah, it's possible. It's not happening though.
Man, it's statistically possible, but in reality, it's not, man.
Bro. Yeah, we're in where there's international break right now. Am I saying something wrong?
No, it's not an
It's
international break. It's
This week-
we've got it's FA
Carabao
Cup.
Cup. It's Carabao Cup this Tuesday and Wednesday.
Basically, it's a competition we're not good enough to be in. That's what it is.
Carabao and then FA Cup weekend. It's FA Cup weekend this week.
I was going to say, it's one of the two. It's next weekend is FA Cup or Carabao Cup,
No, yeah.
and we
So-
play a week on Friday.
Yeah. So Marshall on Tuesday and Wednesday is the first round of the Carabao Cup, and then on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, I think it is the FA Cup, and then we play on Friday. You get me?
I thought it was a whole international break going on again. I was like,
No, international is in February, if I'm not wrong. Isn't it or March, something like that?
Oh,
That's what I mean. Like I saw, like we're coming back at February 3rd on the schedule. I'm like, wait, what? That's a while.
National break coming at some point.
All right, thank you for correcting me, guys. I appreciate it. But basically, we're gonna have a lot of players come back fit by Fulham or by February. We're midway through the season. The points calculation, if I'm looking at it, like Scott, you said it, we're only 10 points away from the top 4. Listen, I'm not gonna get my hopes up, but with all these factors in play, I think it's possible that Potter could start turning this around, getting some wins. I don't know. Like, I think this team was really
Who are you
shit,
going to rely
honestly.
on? Marshall, who are you going to rely on the final game of the season to win?
I think we'll get some wins. Like, I feel more confident now with the matches we've got. And on the players coming back, I saw a report saying there are 4 players that are likely to be back by Fulham. It was Kovacic, James. Who was the other? Chilwell might have been one of them, and I can't remember the last one.
Yeah, Chilwell, and I think Ruben Loftus-Cheek, I'm assuming.
It might have been Loftus-Cheek, it might have been Sterling. I can't remember. It was 4 players, and I remember that one was.
No, because Sterling should be back. I think
2 were Kovacic and James, and then I can't remember the other 2. I think one was Chilwell. But yeah, so we should have at least some players back. We should have a fairly competent looking midfield. We should have our first choice right back potentially back, or at least getting minutes if it doesn't start. We'll have Madueke coming back. We'll have Mudryk in there hopefully for the start. Felix still got one more game ban
after the Fulham game.
I was going to say after Fulham we'll have Felix, but he's still got one game ban for that Fulham game. But this is the thing, we will get wins, and this is the thing is I feel a lot more confident now about some of the games we're playing. But we're not getting top 4. I'm sorry. Like, people just need to accept we are not winning 12 games of our last 18.
Yeah.
Not unless something drastically changes about this team. Like, not unless some of these guys can start scoring goals consistently. Not unless we can start consistently creating chances. Not unless we can and it's not even just a player thing of like on the pitch. Not unless these injuries stop as well. Like, because if we keep getting injuries the rate we've been getting, then we won't be able to keep up, because like you just can't keep up at that pace. Look what happened to Liverpool a few years ago.
Yeah. You would literally need outside factors as well.
It's so wildly out of, like, it's possible, but it's not likely. Is the best way to put it. It's not likely.
Let me ask Scott something. Scott, did you see like how all the Chelsea fans' big accounts on YouTube and on Twitter released like amount videos today on the same time, same day?
Oh my god,
that is crazy, man. It's like the brown envelope crap might be true, man. Because it's weird, man. It's all the same day. Like, they all said defensive like video on the same day. Like I don't know what it is. These guys might be unbeatable because if one thing I noticed, like, because I go and have quite a few spaces on Twitter, a lot of people are getting fed up with Mason Mount, man. A lot of Chelsea fans don't want him no more, and it's not only like the Twitter fans, whatever you want to call them. It's also a lot of match going fans who are not like happy with him anymore, man. It's amazing for me to hear.
Yeah, I just with Mount, I just don't care anymore. Like I said on the stream, on Lewis's stream yesterday, like, he's just shit, and like, who cares now? I don't care. I'm sick of the PR. I'm sick of everything. Like, it's exhausting, and I'm sick of the PR. I'm sick of the nonsense, the bullshit, and just everything. Like, it is what it is. Like, he's such a nothing player. Like, I've seen people talk about it. So I was like, we've had some better players at this football club that have left, and no one gave a fuck. No one batted an eyelid. We've had Hazard leave. We've had Courtois leave, who was like the second best goalkeeper we've ever seen. We let Cech go to Arsenal because he was washed. Like, that's the best goalkeeper that we've ever seen at our club, and the Premier League might have ever seen. Like, I'm sorry, we've let like players like Christiansen and Rudiger go in their prime. We let Schürrle go after barely giving him a chance because of like injuries and shit. He was better than Mount. Like, we let Mata go after 2 years back to back of player of the season. This guy's such a nothing player. We've let so many better players go. I just don't care anymore. I just don't give a shit.
I'm just happy it's finally turning, you know, like, people are finally seeing my vision, you know. That's how Jesus must have felt, bro.
Oh my god, this guy, you know.
You're very humble.
Hey, man, because I truly do believe that Chelsea is a much better machine without this guy. I truly believe it.
I don't understand.
I agree with you, man.
And why he gets to start can't necessarily like.
To be fair,
players, I don't know.
To be fair, it does seem. I feel like our formation might be changing to 4-2-3-1 soon. And if that happens, where does he fit? I know, sorry, he already has. So he doesn't fit into that.
He fits in that team. If he does fit, he fits as the 10. But we come back to the same conversations we keep having about him. And this is it. He's not either. This is, again, I just don't want to get into these conversations again because I'm sick of having them. Because I'm sick of talking about him.
Yeah, fair enough.
Positioning wise, he's not good enough to be an 8, in my opinion. He's way all over the place.
Marshall, that music is too loud on YouTube, by the way.
Okay, thank you guys.
Yeah,
I can't hear the YouTube music at all.
I had it the same exact volume I always have it. This time lower, and it's still too loud. So.
That's what it's
but I mean, listen, like Scott said it, like, I don't want to keep ragging on this guy. He is shit, and I will criticize him and show you on the screen what he's doing wrong. Like, we did this yesterday. We did this the previous game. We actually show you what he's doing wrong. Like, I don't know what else to tell these fans to make them believe, like, hey, this guy is shit. He's playing like shit. He's having a horrible season. If you had asked me 2 seasons ago, me and Akai would have arguments like, I think there's a player in here. I think there's a player in here. Last season, you still have those arguments. This season,
like
I can't.
Just like the Lampard argument.
Kai,
you know?
listen, Kai.
You
didn't
oh,
believe
dude, man said the Lampard argument. Right? Lampard's getting sacked on Monday, by the way, guys. I don't know if you heard.
I honestly feel
surprised?
so sorry for Frank Lampard.
Yeah.
Did you not see it?
I'm not sorry for him, man. He needs to learn, man.
I'm not sorry. Like, him
and Gerrard are going to be back on BT Sports. Him and Gerrard back on BT Sports, you know.
He still are like legendary, I think, yes. As whatever you think of him in Manchester, but do you not see like the tear in his eye when he's talking to an Everton fan?
Wow.
I feel sorry for him in a sense of like, it's not nice for people to lose their job, but at the same time, it's like Like he's learnt nothing.
Frank.
Like he's the same manager of when he was in charge of Chelsea. Like he talked all this stuff when he was with Gary Neville, when he did that interview about, I went to Italy and I learned and this and that and the other. You didn't learn anything. Like you're the same guy. You're literally the same manager.
Still arms crossed on the touchline.
Yeah, he is falling.
I've already said this, man. Listen, he'll be back on BT Sports on Mondays with Joe Cole, John and Steven Gerrard, other sex manager, talking about UCL football and Premier League football, man. He's fine.
I just think he wants to be a good manager, and maybe he just can't. I don't know. Like he isn't.
Sometimes he doesn't for it. Yeah, sometimes you're just not a good teacher, man. Sometimes you're just good. You're a good student, but you're just not a good teacher. Simple as that, man.
I just rather him as like a trainer.
A much smaller team. Like he should have taken a Norwich or something like this, man. Not like Everton where it's like ever pressure on him.
And that's a really toxic, man. He went into a toxic environment, bro. When he go into Everton,
he needed to go. Like Aston Villa was a good club for him to go to, man.
I don't think it would have worked out at Aston Villa either. That's the issue.
I don't think he's
if
a bad
he couldn't
coach.
do it with Everton, come on, man.
I just think he needed to go to Italy, somewhere where you can learn like how the basics of defending.
I think
clue, man.
Kai, I agree, but I think the better idea probably would have been if he had just learned under someone's wing first, like as an assistant manager.
I think he's too arrogant for that. I think he's too arrogant.
Yeah, like Arteta.
Yeah,
I mean, it's unfortunate.
But Arteta also
to get top 4 or top 8 with Everton.
Also had a good relationship with Pep. So Pep is that I was like, okay, you can be under me, you can learn from me. I don't think Lampard had that relationship with any coach, and I think he's too arrogant to be. He's too arrogant because Arteta wasn't really that good of a player, though.
The thing is, like, if you watch Lampard's style at Chelsea, I don't think like him and Jose would work.
Yeah, but even Jose, if you look at his style now at Roma, it's different from what he used to play, man.
Yeah,
it's not the same.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad. I hate to see this happen because I find it hard to believe that a player as good as him has absolutely zero managerial or tactical like ability. I feel like it is in there, but he just has to. I think he has to go
implement them though.
The thing is though, we've seen this before. Like some players were terrible footballers but were great managers, and some footballers were great players and are terrible managers. Like that's just how it is sometimes. Like for example, Tuchel and Klopp. Look at their careers. They were not great in their careers. Same with like Mourinho. He was not great, but he's turned out to be a fantastic manager. And then other guys like Gerrard, Lampard. You've got like the Neville brothers. Like Phil Neville's doing better now, but like these guys, despite the fact they were really good footballers, there's a difference between playing the game and managing the game.
Yeah, I just don't think they're very good like people. They're not very good like dealing with people. I think they're just good. Like, it's not the same thing. With being a manager, you have to go out to deal with people and stuff. I don't think they have that.
Lack of emotional intelligence. Yeah.
No, it's not the emotional intelligence. They just don't have leadership skills, man.
But I bring it back to what we were talking about with the Chelsea and their fixtures coming up. If Potter can manage to get this team playing with the new players now, as we've seen with Mudryk, well, we saw a glimpse of it. I'm not going to say it's going to happen this way, but we saw a taste of it with Mudryk, João Felix, Badiashile. Maybe Madueke starts cooking. Maybe if we have a proper midfielder like a Caicedo who actually listens to him. It was one of the people that he wanted to bring at Brighton, and now he wants to bring him at Chelsea. I think I'm looking at this fixture. Other than you could argue United, well, not argue. Other than United, Arsenal, Man City, Newcastle, put Brighton in there too. I think these teams are very beatable if Potter can start getting our team to actually play, and with the new players and the new signings and the injuries coming back. So I think it is possible to beat the rest of those teams that I didn't mention and maybe get a result, because I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, Liverpool's not at their best yesterday. Obviously, they're just as bad as we are. But 3 weeks ago, we were saying we would lose that game. 3 weeks ago, we would have definitely lost that game. I think we have improved slightly under Potter with the new signings, that we were able to actually get a 0-0. It should have been a win, but you have Mason Mount on the team, but it is what it is. Alex, you have a nice haircut. Your fanboys are in the chat. They want to hear what you have to say. Do you think that it's possible we can potentially, maybe actually make top 4 if everything goes well for Potter.
I always said that we can make top 4 and more if we have a healthy midfield.
Mm.
And I'm not saying any buy. I'm saying if we had Kovacic and Kante fit all the time, it was always. It's an injury problem, but so mathematically we're still there. So I will never doubt that we can. But it always has to look not what you can, but whose place you take. That's
I'm not
the
gonna
problem.
lie. It is hard because
That's the
United,
problem. It's
Castle.
not about who you get. It's about who you dispossess from the top 4. Man City?
True.
No
Anybody?
chance.
We're taking
that's a tough one. Yeah.
No. Arsenal?
Yeah.
No. So who's there now? Man United and
I'll say
Newcastle.
Newcastle.
So if you think about it by taking it, yeah, we can. But whose plot we get?
It'd be Newcastle's for me. If
I
realistically,
don't think
I
we get
actually
either.
think it's actually, I know we're not, but I think if we get spot in there, it will be United. It wouldn't be Newcastle.
you reckon?
Yeah, Newcastle.
They've got like a few games in a
The
month.
thing about Newcastle is that their defense at the moment is literally, I think
I
it's
get
one of the best defenses in the league. Like their defense
Yeah.
is just, I don't know whether it's the way they set up,
United.
the players
That's what
they've
I'm
got.
saying.
Like,
Look,
Yeah.
for me, the teams that I actually have good defense are the ones that top 4. The teams who has a good defense and the top offense are winning the league, or at least fight for the league. So, what's his name? Newcastle. They have a really, really good midfield with really good defense. They don't have a good forwards. I don't care what you say.
Well,
They don't have a good forwards.
Oh yeah,
They play
Caicedo.
pragmatic. They play pragmatically.
That is crazy.
So for me, they fighting for top 4. We're not in the title league and stuff like that. The depth
Yeah.
squad is not there yet. United, they only have a really, really, really good defense. They do. They don't concede. They hardly concede. So for me, it's those two teams that we can take a spot from. Another thing, like if we take in those spots, who's the next team?
right. With the what's it called? With Timo, the goals I saw him score, like it's like Timo type goals I saw. I said already, I haven't barely watched him, but I don't
I
think
know
we
you
need
have
him.
to watch him, Chris. But
I haven't really
mean,
watched him, but like he gets
I
injured
had
a lot
a-
anyway.
I
Like
had to
Who are we
plug
talking
that up.
about? Who's Noni? Who's that?
that random kid from PSV.
Oh,
we signed.
random. Oh my god.
How can he be a random kid if he's a football player, bro?
Madueke. You're talking about Madueke. Chris doesn't rate Madueke. He doesn't think he'll
No,
be
it's
good.
not like I read-
Chris, it's not about that. I heard you talking, you and your shameless ZH propaganda and shit. I heard you shit.
Bro,
Not you.
Scott says his name so smoothly.
Marshall.
Yeah,
Marshall
that
was
was me.
ZH shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marshall was a big CH fan, man.
Why? What I don't understand, why would you, the guys that like ZH so much, do not put that much energy and just find him a new club? That's
No,
the
no.
best you can do for him.
I'm
Find him a
saying-
bad club. Nobody wants the guy.
That's what I said. I said no, we can't even get rid of him. I get it. Look, I like Ziyech. I think he could be a good player. If he wants to go, he can go. If his attitude changes and he wants to stay at Chelsea, he can stay at Chelsea. I'm okay with that. I think he could be a good player, and I think we have players that now maybe
At
can
30,
help him be
you
better.
think he can improve as a player at 30?
No.
Oh no, he's not going to improve. But my
Okay,
point
so
with
what
Madueke
we
is
have
that he's
is
going to
what we
leave.
get, right? What we have, it's what we get.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is why I think Madueke's a good signing because we need to replace the right
I
wing
actually
position.
think Madueke is a good high prospect. I don't know what Chris watches or looks at. It's not
What,
my
you
type,
watch
but
him?
no,
Look.
Alex hasn't
that's
watched
not
it.
what
But
I'm
the thing
saying.
is, it's like,
No, fuck, I've never heard of the guy.
Exactly.
I'm just
What do you
taking a
know
piss
about
at
him, Alex?
I do know about him. Do you know what I know about him? What I
He's
know
English.
about him, what is actually impressed me, Vivell was after him for a couple of seasons.
Yes.
So
Yeah, he was
does
after him
Potter.
at RB Leipzig.
And
I'll say
that's
he was after
why
RB Leipzig.
I'm interested. You see what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
guys, all of a sudden, you like the players. I like Vivell.
No, I like what
As I say,
Vivell's doing.
it shows that he's done his
Shows on
homework.
the
It
pitch.
shows this isn't just a guy he's found out about like yesterday. Like this is a
Yeah,
guy
Chris.
he's looked at for like
The
2 years. Minimum 2
with
years.
that, Scott. The problem with that, Scott.
Alex says
No
his
matter
name
how
properly. I'm so
good
proud
with-
of you, Alex.
You
I'm so
what?
proud of you, bro. You said Vivell properly, man.
I know. I'm
I'm
growing.
so proud of you, man.
My string is my haircut. Like I'm losing my.
Yeah,
my
man, you got a
brain.
string hairline, Alex, man. You got a string hairline, Alex, man. Shout out to you,
See,
man.
do you see where the hairline's supposed to start, Ahmed? You see
Oh,
where's the
shut up,
hairline?
Oh, this guy, you know.
Anyway, so what I'm trying to say is, like, look, with Chelsea's physicians and medical staff, it does not help. Does not help signing those players that are questionable in the injury. You know what I'm saying? It just does not help. With Chelsea as a medical facility, we already have a full staff. Pulisic is there, we're just chilling. Like, how many beds is this hospital gonna to have? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, I like the scouts. I just don't like, is that the hospital club or what? Like, NHS, I know Abramovich invested in NHS and helped them, but I think they got too comfortable and still there. NHL staff.
Someone said Kante knows all the medical staff so well they get like a coffee.
Kante,
You know what I mean?
Pulisic know everybody by the name and last name. They have on the Christmas list.
What they do.
Like, they literally have him on the Christmas list. Like, he send them Christmas cards every year.
They
With
do
the family
Secret
pictures.
Santa.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like with the family pictures, you know?
Oh my days.
My God.
This is hilarious. But no, I on the Ziyech thing that you were calling me out for, rightfully so. I mean, I do have a Ziyech bias.
What did I
just
tell
think
you?
With the no, I do. I'm not afraid to hide it. But with I just think it's smart that we invest in the right wing. Vivell is doing all the work.
By the
He's
way, we're
building a
gonna
team.
sign that guy from right back. The one to it. Vivell.
Malo Gusto?
Gusto, yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
Was that
I have
confirmed now?
I have the insight.
Got the brown envelopes.
Yeah, I got the.
Alex Brown envelope, yeah? Is that what you're saying now?
No, I didn't say that. I'm not brown envelope. I shit in the envelope. That's how it becomes the brown.
Oh
Wait, why are
my
you shitting?
God.
Why is this man
to
shitting in an
to
envelope?
send it to Ahmed, so he will have something to open for
my
Christmas.
days.
No,
Oh wow.
Very
you know
nice
how
of
you know how we signed that guy with no neck, criminal.
Yeah.
Oh, Body Shield, yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's how we're going after the that Gusto guy. Apparently,
Oh,
I
okay.
highly rate him. Apparently, that's what I heard in the streets.
To be fair to Chelsea,
Well-
3 of the signings are actually good, man. They turn
Yeah.
out good.
No,
man.
they've been good signings. Mudryk has looked
Except
good.
with
Felix
Fofana,
has
man.
looked
This
good.
Fofana's clapped, man.
Fafana's
Yeah,
never been on the pitch yet, man. What are you talking about?
No,
I've
he
never
only
seen
played
this
2
guy.
games in last touch, bro. He never played
He
again.
played in
man.
that FA Cup. He played in that FA Cup tie. He played for like a few
Yes,
minutes.
Adam,
He was
out.
cameo.
CFC. It's
I want to
real
see him play
news.
though. I want to see him. I want to see Fofana play, and if he's not going to play, then send him on loan. I'm sure that's going to happen in the next few weeks.
Can I just say on a
He
complete
had, I don't
tangent,
think he's gonna
thinking
play
about
again, man.
Fofana and Badiashile, what is it with France and just producing these centre backs? Like, can they fucking stop? Like, what is it with them and just
What about
producing
the
these
midfield?
centre backs?
Yeah, the midfield is also
What
very
about the
good for me.
midfields?
Oh no, for me, this is centre backs. Like, look at the amount of young
yeah,
centre backs they've
now,
got coming
yes.
through. It's like Kanate, they're just like it was so good in the World Cup. You got like Badiashile coming through for Fofana, but Saliba, like
Scott,
Upamecano was meant to be
You
that
know
guy,
why
but
that
he-
is?
He's a
You know
right
why
back
that
economist.
is? You know
10
why that
years
is?
ago was the midfield. It's like
'Cause
they're
they don't
going
have
by
to-
section.
They don't
What the
over
fuck
talk
is this?
about their youth
What are they
like they do in
producing there?
England, man.
Just a bunch of fucking.
They
They're gonna have
That's
do.
the thing. No, Alex, they don't. These
I don't
kids, they
know.
come out of nowhere. I've been
You're
hearing
talking
about
about
like
the
this.
fans, or you're talking about the clubs?
No, I'm
But-
talking about like the fans. Like
Of
you
course,
never
the
see
fans.
this.
The youth clubs that don't exist. The clubs are not as big as. Look. Have you
Yes,
been
but
in
that's what I'm saying. Like they don't.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
wait,
In
The
France,
clubs
is
are
a lot
not-
more
yeah.
youth driven.
Yeah.
Is in France, it's very much youth driven, man. They need to create these players for money. That's one of the main reasons why.
Why not reach? Those clubs are not rich, man.
Yeah,
That
they generate. Go ahead, Vince.
the France, they don't have like really rich owners and stuff like that, like PSG does and stuff like that. You know
Monaco.
what I'm
Well,
saying?
doesn't
Mhm.
Monaco have like a rich Russian owner, or did he sell?
Used
No,
to.
he
Used
used to,
to.
and then he sold like half their team or like most of their team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what he does because there's no reason to push for it, because he will never win the war with PSG, no matter how much he's pushing. He will never win the war with PSG.
I remember when he signed Falcao and the PSG signed Cavani, and it was like they were the big striker at the time. And we were thinking, oh shit, the French
Yeah,
league
but
is gonna
he
be
was
amazing.
old and injured. That's why right after Falcao got injured.
Yeah, he
Mhm.
left to,
That's like we
So-
signing Torres. That's exactly
Yeah.
what happened.
yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, we remember those days.
I've got a picture of
on-
Torres actually. Same.
Yeah, I mean, you showed me the one picture you ended up getting over the course of this week. Let me go ahead and discuss a few midfield prospects that we're talking. Not prospects. I should reword that. Targets. So let me go ahead and pull this up.
This is
Can
not
I
America.
address somebody's in the chat real quick? EPL.
Go ahead,
turf-
man. Go ahead.
EPL turf. It says that there's a lot of African player immigration.
Oh, not that one.
Has happened in the last 10 years. So now France and plus Africa talent. You know that you say an immigration thing? I call it colonization. That's how we fucking
But that's been happening for decades.
Yeah, I know
That's been
that, but
happening
they
for
never
decades,
trusted
yeah.
them.
I was gonna
Now
say,
we
like,
start to trust
it
them.
But
happens
England
in,
also had that, Alex.
I was gonna say, it happens
No,
in
but it's been happening since the
it happens
90s. That's where Henri came from. You
That's
know,
what I'm
your
saying.
Zidane's. Yeah.
Don't
But it
call it
happens
immigration.
in-
Call them colonizers. Call them
I
by
was
the
gonna say,
first
yeah.
name.
it happens in loads of countries. Like, if you notice, like, there's a decent amount of Dutch players that are from places like the place in the Caribbean, like Suriname.
Exactly, the ones that they
Like, 'cause-
colonized, because they don't
Yeah,
have to
because
have
if
a
you go to
visas.
the Caribbean, I know this is slightly off topic, but if you go to the Caribbean, a lot of the Caribbean islands speak Dutch because of, like, what Alex said, it's colonizing.
hmm
They call it immigration services. There's no-
That's a little
Immigration.
disguise. But let's talk about some of these midfield targets and plan Bs in case Caicedo doesn't work out. So right here we have tweet. Chelsea have considered Weston McKennie, and he spoke with Christian Pulisic about the club, but Moises Caicedo is still their top priority. McKennie's advantage is he can play in lots of positions. Juventus are open to the sale. This is coming from Ben Jacobs.
No.
So we'll start.
No more.
No,
guys,
thank you.
more
No, thank you.
positions. I don't want these kind of guys, man. I want to play good in one position, bro.
Yes.
Be good in
Quite
one position,
literally.
bro.
Isn't he left back?
Who?
No, he's a
He's a midfielder.
The problem, He's got the
Midfielder
same
with
midfielder.
average
Is that the
midfielder,
guy
he's
bro.
got
with
the same.
The afro and
The French,
Yes,
the
yes.
French colour
the
on
French,
the
the
World
French hair
He's got,
in the World
he's got
Cup.
the same problem
Yeah.
that we've talked about before about some of these other players. Where does he fit in the midfield? Like, what's
I
it?
think
What
he's
is
just a good number 8.
It's not even that he's
good,
necessarily a
though.
good or
He's
bad
not
player.
good.
He doesn't
He's not
fit.
better than what we have now.
I was saying he doesn't fit, especially
He's
with
not
what
even
else-
better than what we have right now. He's not
Yeah.
better than Pulisic.
I don't think
He's
he's
not.
better than Gallagher.
I don't think
Yeah,
he's
he's
better
better
than
than
Gallagher either.
You
No.
reckon?
He's better than Gallagher,
No.
but like no, but
I
he has
don't
the same problems in
As
terms
a
of
I
like
think he's
person,
better
I've
than
had-
you
I
Gallagher.
think-
go
I think
watch him when he
I've
plays
Gallagher's
for
better.
Juve and when he goes and plays for like the US, well, like Marshall.
He did alright for the
when he
USA.
plays for, like,
I
US,
did watch him there.
USMNT. The way he
I-
plays, like when they play, he's normally the further forward of the three midfielders that they play with. But like his passing, it's not that creative. He's more of like a late arriver in the box. So it's like I don't want that when unless you're playing a 3-man midfield, which even if we are, we're most likely going to have Caicedo. Let's just put a name out there. Let's say Zubimendi, and then one other. And I don't think that's going to one other is going to be McKennie. Like he just doesn't fit.
I
He
think
just doesn't fit.
I think if we're gonna compare levels, I think he's about the same quality of Zakaria. I would say just
Who?
about
Less.
Weston
I think
McKennie.
less.
I don't think he's as bad as you guys think he is. It could be the
Oh.
bias in me. I don't think there's a bias in there
He's a good
because I
player.
don't.
Why are you biased? No,
He's American.
He's an American. He's American.
Oh.
I'm American. They're both American.
No, he's a
Which
good
is why-
player, but again, he just doesn't
He's
fit.
not a
His
good player.
attributes don't really fit with what we want to
Yeah.
do going
Seriously.
forward.
I just think he would be a good
I
number
actually
8,
watched
but not
the
a
guy-
CDM.
If
No.
you
We'll
want,
be
can I just say,
honest,
if
a
you want to
cheap
go and get, if the club wants to go and get a like an American midfielder to like add to this team, go and get Yunus Musa. He's much better. His
I
ceiling's
rate
much
him
higher.
more than
He's
Yunus
much better
Musa.
player.
I was
Say
actually
again?
going to bring that up. That I rate
I'd
McKennie
rather
more than I
take
rate Yunus
Musa
Musa.
than McKennie. Like I'd rather take Yunus Musa. His ceiling's higher. He's just a better player in general. His attributes fit
I guess
better
he has
to
a
what we
higher
want to
ceiling.
Are
play.
we trying
can
to build
also-
the red, white,
guess
and
what?
blue or some shit over here or something?
also
Why are
build-
we even talking about this?
He can also play in multiple positions. But yeah, like
67 watching, 45 likes. Where are you, Winter Surfer? Why are you?
No, he's saying less. He's saying less.
Less than 45 likes. But I mean, it's just obviously it's an idea. I'm not opposed to it, but at the same time, I think I rather go for Kessie. Kessie's not going to happen, but I rather go for Caicedo. I rather focus on Enzo. I rather do that. So I agree with you guys on that. But if things don't work out and we really want to fix something in January,
well, he does not fit what we're trying to build.
Well, let's see if the next
no
guy fits.
In that midfield.
I think I've ever actually just come
There's
back.
no pussios in this midfield. And Zakaria, what's his name? He's comparing him to Zakaria. He can literally, his height is just, he can dick slap him.
So, on another midfield topic, we had news that came out earlier in the week.
Mount is better than him.
I think this isn't going to happen, but we never know. There might be a change of tide here. Tottenham came to Chelsea earlier this month regarding transfers and wanted a player exchange. Ziyech and Chalobah in return for Bissouma. Chelsea are open to letting Ziyech leave, but they will not let Chalobah leave this month. Ziyech is open to Tottenham, and this is I don't know this source really, but this was going around for a bit. Would you?
Why you don't trust C345 Sam?
I don't know who
Sounds
that is.
like a credible source.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
Who is that?
I have no idea. But people were talking about this.
I think it's
the guy who leaks
that
the
says-
guy who leaks our
do it.
lineups.
I think
I don't
it's the guy
wanna
that
leave
says
Cha-
that
I don't want
Musa is
Chalobah
from
to
his
go.
own
Yeah.
town in the chat.
No, he's the guy who leaks the lineups every game. You know, that's the guy.
Oh,
He's the same guy.
that's the guy.
If you have a leaks, you need to see the doctor, man.
No, he
Yeah,
leaks
I don't know if
the
this is-
lineups for the games.
I don't
I
know
know
if this
what
is
you're
fake,
Yeah.
but I will say, just for the sake of entertaining the idea, I don't mind Ziyech going to Tottenham. I don't know about Chalobah though. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
that's
want
what Chelsea
Chalobah
said
to
now.
leave.
That's what Chelsea said.
I'm the
now.
same. Like I'm all for again if we're entertaining this because I don't know how valid it is, like the validity. But I'm all for Bissouma coming to Chelsea and I'm all for Ziyech leaving. I don't want Chalobah leaving. Like
That's a
Why,
red
why does Conte not play him? Conte doesn't like him. It seems.
Who?
Conte's
because
a terrorist. That's why. Because Conte's a terrorist and he's washed as a manager.
He doesn't
he
like.
doesn't
Bissouma, man.
want. He doesn't want him. He doesn't want midfielders to progress too fast to the how you say it. Progress too fast for the midfield to forward line. He does not like it.
Yeah.
He likes that. He likes the two pivot players, and I think I don't think he's his type of player. That's all it is.
I don't think we're going to do a trade per se, but we can
I will
definitely
take
do transfer
Bissouma.
business.
I wanted
would love
Bissouma
Bissouma.
before without any
Yeah.
like.
I love
Yeah,
him.
that's
Yeah,
I'm the same,
I'll take
Alex.
Bissouma,
I'd
yeah.
take Bissouma, but like not with that deal.
Yeah.
Not with the
Yeah,
deal
with
that's
Chalobah.
proposed. I don't want
Yeah.
Chalobah leaving.
But I think that's why
If you
Chelsea
want
said no.
to do a trade swap, if you want to do Ziyech for Bissouma, I'm all for it. Like
All for it.
100%. Ziyech
But, like, I'm
for
sure Chalobah's
Bissouma
not
and
taking
Ziyech and a little bit of extra money for Bissouma. Yeah, I'll do it.
because
No, it should be straight trade for me.
It's either straight trade or pay us.
Yeah.
You guys think
Come
so?
on.
Because I don't think
Okay,
Ziyech
today-
is
okay,
valued
okay,
that
okay,
highly in the
What
market.
happened to your
Okay,
boy? You
okay.
didn't rate your boy that high?
Yeah.
I'm based. Like I love
So
Ziyech and all that, but I'm gonna be realistic.
next time when you do it, put the money
Hang on.
value on it.
How old
He's
is
like
Hang
what,
on,
Bissouma?
20
hang on.
million?
It's
Hang
Ziyech
on.
maybe?
Hang on,
I love
hang
him,
on.
but he's a
Both
hooker.
clubs-
You can have him.
Both clubs, don't value
Yeah.
each of it. Like Tottenham don't
I
value.
mean, that's fair. That's a good
Bissouma,
point.
And we don't value Ziyech.
But
so
how much did Tottenham buy Bissouma for?
Like
20 million? 20 million.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, never mind. You guys are right. I value Ziyech at 20
Will
mil.
is right.
No. Give me.
How much
give
are
me-
they buying for?
Pay me for.
You have a Ziyech as your favorite player, so yeah, you hold that.
Yeah.
Actually, it's Havertz. I can hold that even more.
How was your favorite player?
I wouldn't brag about that.
I'm not. That's exactly. Blue Alex is mine right there. All right, let's go to the next one.
Fan. See, I have a
There you
my
go.
number one fan.
Fan.
All right, and this was my favorite one. Declan Rice favoring move to Arsenal over Chelsea as West Ham exit nears. Arsenal have made Rice their top transfer target and are increasingly confident of beating Chelsea to a signature. This is coming from Jacob
Yay.
God damn it,
Steinberg.
they're taking on number one target. How
Yeah,
dare
I'm
they?
so
Yo,
happy, man.
I made this joke, Kai. I think Declan Rice is only twerking for Arsenal because he's thinking we're gonna hijack him.
They're taking our number one target. How dare they?
Hey, how is we didn't even bet for him for 3 years, man. We bet like $100 million deal for like 3 years in a row, and not once it was him, man.
He went to the Lakers game with the Chelsea players to see Mason Mount and Todd
He
Bowley.
did. That's true. I forgot.
And he thought he's come to Chelsea, but
Bro, he
the
tried to
road
get
hasn't
into
picked up.
the team bus, man. They didn't allow him. Man.
In the space of like one season, we've spent like close to 500 million, and not a single penny of that has been on Declan Rice.
I don't know, man.
True.
He's
I
rated.
don't like him. I don't like him, man.
I
I mean, he's a
either. I don't
decent
think he's
player. I
Yeah, he's
just
not
don't
shit.
think he's not shit. Yeah,
He's a
He's not
decent
80
player
million
that isn't
worth of
special.
player, yeah.
That's about it.
Exactly.
yeah. I don't think
Also
he's there.
Nobody wants Rice.
Nobody wants Rice.
No, like let's be honest. Like people do.
Their
There are
DMs are
teams
better
that
than
rate
Declan Rice.
him.
No, the DMs are better than
There
Declan
are.
Rice. Xhaka's better.
Yes.
Party's
Can I
better.
say
If
something
they
else
keep
as well, by
Party
the
a
way?
fair long, I don't know.
Go ahead.
I want to
Smash
point
the like
something out.
button, people. 75 of you.
Matisse
Come on.
pointed this out on a stream that I watched of his the other day, and like, no, it was either Matisse or Miz actually. I was watching a stream.
I think it
They
was
pointed
Miz,
out,
not
like,
Matisse.
how come, like, obviously there's this Arsenal news, but how come no club has made a concrete offer? No big club has come in and said, yeah, we'll slap the money down for Rice. How come no one has done it? No one is doing it. Real Madrid ain't doing it. They're willing to slap 100 mil or 80 mil down for Tchouaméni. They're reportedly willing to slap 100 mil down for Bellingham. Like Liverpool reportedly willing to slap whatever down for Bellingham and this, that, and the other. Chelsea willing to, negotiate with Benfica, who want 120 mil for Enzo Fernandez. No one wants Rice. No big team wants him. Like, you've got all these scouting networks or all these scouts from so many different clubs, and no one's going after this guy. Does that not?
I think
tell you
because
something?
they priced out people.
Alex, you say that, but
Almost.
he's going to cost the same sort of price as what, or like even last year, right? For example, he's going to cost the same sort of price as what Enzo is worth. But because it wasn't a release clause, you could structure it differently. He was going to cost, like now, for example, he's going to cost around the same or even less than what Real Madrid were willing to pay for Tchouaméni. He's going to cost less than what people are willing to pay for Bellingham. And these guys are still wanted, and teams are still going to go after them. This guy, no one wants him. No one's willing to put down the money for it.
Seriously,
Like he's worth around, like now with the thing, you'd say his market value or what he's worth is probably about 70 mil. No one's going for it. No one wants it.
because it's first of all, it's January. It's not a lot of people that are actually gonna go for that kind of player. We need. He's not the one that we like. The target is he's one of the targets. I don't know if true Chelsea are looking or not looking, but I think it's the problems were the way, the way every club being priced out of it, and that's what teams are afraid of. That's all. I don't feel he will be bought in the summer. If they're definitely gonna sell him because he has a value to them.
Yeah, he's gonna get sold. I just don't think.
I think he's gonna go more chances to United than Arsenal.
Yeah, I don't think he'll come to Chelsea because he's not a rebel kind of guy.
He will be deadly beside the what's his name, Casemiro, because he does as much as
he probably will leave. The thing for me is like all this. I think all this shows me at least is that I don't think he is rated by the footballing world or those in football anywhere near as much from other clubs anywhere near as much.
For me, it's
Chelsea
most
fans
funny.
want to
It's
rate
most
him.
funny. It's just a lazy comparison that Mount was his friend, so that's
Yeah,
assumption.
no, I know.
Chelsea is gonna go.
No, I know, but like
And
that's the thing is like
that's
so
what
He
many,
was working for us.
so many Chelsea fans
No.
rate this guy like as on such a high level, and seemingly from what we are seeing from the footballing world, no one rates him on that level. No one rates him enough to put him in the same category as some of these other young midfielders that they are willing to go and splash
He's
the money
not
for.
young. He's 25 now.
Is he?
You know what I mean?
True.
Like
Yeah,
he's got
he's
scope.
older
Older
than
prime
that.
age, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's
Like, he's
prime.
got scope.
I know. Well, first of all, I think people will see what the problem the other players were like. You will see how bad was Phillips is at Manchester City.
It's 24, yeah.
What I'm saying, like what Phillips did at Man City, the transfer, and he does not make it, and he's supposedly be more technical player than Rice, and he's not showing up. He doesn't get it yet. Like Pep, first year credit, whatever. So next season we'll see. But what show me exactly what it is this league is power and pace in that midfield, and it's really should be rated. That's it. That's what he has. And if those players like Rice, it's like Kante. I'm not comparing them, but they are like Kante. You know what I'm saying? That power and pace, reading defensive line better than anything. He's not the best at it, but he's decent at it. So every top club will consider him. And if you're telling me that he's not going to be good beside Casemiro to clean up all that thing, you're mad. If you don't think he's not going to do good beside, what's his name? Arsenal's
Party.
Party, you mad because he will be really good. I seriously think he's a top 4 midfielder. I don't think he's that good as some Chelsea fans think. But I don't think he's that bad like other people think. I think he's really good player. He's way above average player. Way above average.
Scott, I think you don't have to worry about him coming to Chelsea because he's not a Vivell kind of guy.
I'm not at all.
I
Vivell
actually
midfield
wouldn't
kinda
be surprised if we don't link with him. But if we get Caicedo, all of a sudden that link will make more sense. You see what I'm saying, Scott? Because
I don't think he comes to Chelsea at all. Like,
I don't know. I don't think he's come to Chelsea. But Caicedo and him will make more sense than just buy Rice first and then go for the other players. Do you see what I'm saying? He's not the primary piece in the midfield when you build the midfield. He's not the primary one. He's the secondary. He's the one that actually it's like when you watch Kante. Kante is not main person in the midfield. If you put Kante with somebody that more creative, more IQ midfielder IQ, Kante becomes something special when you have. It's like Fabregas and Matic.
Oh, Matic, yeah.
Matic is nothing special when he's by himself, but when you have a really talented midfielder with really talented IQ beside him, with the deep line playmaker, all of a sudden Kante becomes that guy that. You know what I'm saying? Like you think that it's everything is because of him, but no, everything is because of two players, because two combination. I think Rice is gonna be fine. I just don't think it's gonna be Chelsea because I don't think it's that's the kind of target we.
Yeah.
McKennie outplayed him in the World Cup.
I think we will go.
I don't think you play that bad.
Scott, if you know Martin Zubimendi, I think he's the kind of guy that
we're not going for him, not even linked to him. So, but
I think we will. I think we will. We were linked for him a few, in the beginning of the window.
People like that, I think, will go in the summer. I think the only midfielder we're signing this window is Caicedo.
There's a chance. This is the week that we're gonna find out if we do or not.
Really hope it happens because ideally, in an ideal world, I would like to get that right back target
Caicedo,
as well.
it does not mean that we finish midfield either.
No,
it's just the only first piece.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I think we go back for end zone this summer.
I say he's we then make do till the end of the season, see how he fits, and then come the summer when one or both of Kante and Jorginho leave, then you'll see us sign, Zubimendi maybe or Enzo.
They did the defense, right?
Zakaria might stay.
They did the defense and they did the attack, so now the only midfield is left.
Scott, just look if Kante is fit beside Caicedo.
That I don't want to see.
Why not?
Just because it's too similar to like the.
No, Caicedo was better than it. Caicedo better than what's his name than Kante and pass and everything.
Well, yeah,
he's still not. They're too similar in terms of he's not going to be. If we've got Caicedo, I want someone else like you said. I want someone like an Enzo or a Zubimendi or someone who is better on the ball. That's not to say Caicedo is bad on the ball. I want someone who's going to be more of the creative focus from deeper. Like I don't want Kante and Caicedo are too similar. If you look at how he plays with at Brighton, he's always playing with one of like McAllister or Gross. Or someone like that, someone who's slightly better going forward with the ball. And so, I just feel Caicedo and Kante are too similar. Unless you're going to have them unless you're basically going to rely on them.
Jorginho, I'm talking about Jorginho, Caicedo, and what's his name? And Kante.
I don't think we're playing a three-man midfield. If we do, I think one of them is The third midfielder will be the attacking midfielder. It's like a 4-2-3-1, which I think will be Felix
Probably
or
Joe.
Mount or Kai
Yeah.
maybe or whatever.
Do you guys think we will sign Felix permanently? I think we will. Personally,
I don't
What are
know.
your obsession, man? What are your obsession with the
I
guy?
genuinely don't know. Like
You
I
want
mentioned
to,
him
you want
twice.
to, you want, you want to.
I mentioned
you
him
want
twice,
to put
Alex,
his.
this week, man.
No, you mentioned him twice this week on every channel.
That's not true. Scott, did I
That's
mention
true.
him on? I didn't mention him on that. at all, man.
Yesterday, you mentioned it
you
yesterday on
mentioned
Lewis
you
or
did
today.
mention him on
Did I?
Lewis.
Anyway, he's gonna stay,
realize
man.
he
I don't remember, man. I was in space
Yo,
with
those rainbow flags are in your eyes, man.
I was in space with this guy, man. Every sentence is like Felix. We have that like top 4 best young player, and I'm like, bro, we didn't even sign him yet, man. He's just here on loan, man.
Yeah, so
signed him
you got
first,
his
man.
disease.
No, man. I like Felix. I'm not gonna overrate him.
We got
I
to see
got-
the end of the season, hasn't
Yeah, I
we?
wouldn't
I
mind
wouldn't
him. I
He's
think
only
he's a very
played what
good player.
65 minutes before he got a red card.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That
I'm
red
not
card
gonna
was too
lie
harsh.
though.
It was too harsh for me, man. that red card.
I don't know if it was too
That was a
harsh. That
red.
was a leg breaker. That was
too
definitely a red.
I think.
Too
I
hot.
think no.
The referee wasn't sensitive
He
enough,
was
man.
pulling out. He realized he
pulling
was
out,
coming
yeah.
late. He kind of pulled out, but still
Yeah.
too late.
Still.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a red
But
card.
that guy
It's
took it
no-
like a motherfucker, bro. He was like rolling on the floor. He's like, you know, doing the Neymar.
I'm not gonna lie though. If our midfield this season or next season looks like not midfield, attack looks like Felix in the 10 with Madueke on the right or Sterling on the right,
I need help to learn how to say that in one word. man. Jesus.
Mudryk on the left, and Cuckoo in the top at the striker position. Guys, I think
we
it's
have-
a really good attack
I
potentially,
don't
depending
think
on
Nkunku
fitness.
should be a striker. That's number one.
I just don't want to see Havertz there.
Well,
Much
just
as
don't
I
put
like
Havertz
Havertz.
anywhere in the starting 4, and then you will not see him. But the funny part is you didn't put him in that starting 4, and you still
didn't.
put Nkunku as a forward.
See, who
I think Nkunku
would
has
And
have.
Nkunku is not a forward. That's what
So
I
would you put him in the
understood.
left?
He's
People
second
that watch
striker. He's a second
Bundesliga,
striker.
they said he's not a striker.
No,
He's a
he's a
second
second.
striker.
He can play second striker, Alex. He can
Like a
do
shadow
that.
striker.
Okay. He's not a striker, right? He's not,
Not
a
a main
primary
striker. Not a main
Exactly.
striker, like-
That's what. Here we go. We're on the same boat now.
See,
Since
what
we
I
got on the same
would do,
Oh
I would have
no.
Felix. I would have Felix on a strike and Cuckoo.
No.
Mudryk.
Why would you
and
have Felix
Sterling.
in the striker?
What
Felix
is
as a
it with
striker
Why
at
not?
Atletico is
He's a
failing.
striker. We have
No, he's
no
not.
active-
He's not
Oh,
a
he's not a
striker. He's not. He's certainly not.
he's-
A,
So when he plays for Atletico Madrid, like he doesn't.
Chris,
no,
he
no,
struggled
he-
as a striker at
Hence
Atletico
he moved,
Madrid.
man. That's why he
his,
moved. bro.
Yeah.
his best times when he's played football over the last is as a second striker, is as a
So
number.
I gotta start showing you
We
some,
have
clips,
too
some
many-
videos,
we have too
some
many.
info.
No, I know how he plays. It just, I don't know.
With
like,
2
Apparently
feet.
you
I
don't.
hope,
Well, who
I
else
hope
striker,
he's
man?
on 2 feet. Fofana, that's the only striker we have, and Aubameyang.
True.
For fun, who we never
Doesn't even
use.
like him, bro. Potter doesn't even like him.
Poor
Potter doesn't like him. What do you
man.
mean?
Oh, let's stick Kai Havertz.
Alex, next time he plays, look at how Potter looks at him, man. Like, who brought you here, bro? That's the look he gave him, bro. Like, who brought you here, bro? What are you doing
That's
here?
so
man?
fucked. Oh, almost 70 of you watching. Smash the like buttons, guys, please. I have one more little thing we could talk about right here. This is a little not really relevant to Chelsea now, but it is a Chelsea player. Let's it's Lewis's favorite player. Let's go ahead and talk about Christiansen.
It's relevant.
Been a
man.
while since we discussed this guy. Christiansen's camp says although he was happy in London, he felt there was times his ability was doubted and the club did not trust him to handle high pressure situations. He also felt, having arrived young, he was always destined to be seen as an academy player.
That's because he had diarrhea all the time,
100%
man.
agree with you with this.
I
had
disagree
diarrhea
with the
all the
last
time,
bit
man.
because I
Why
think if
is
he
it?
was
Why is that a bad thing though?
say again.
He's seen as an academy player. Why is
No,
that a
I
bad
think
thing?
it's the other way, I think it's the other way around. I think he wasn't seen as an academy player, and that's why he got as much shit as he got. If he was seen as an academy player, he would have had like
He
a
would
lot
have
more
been
praise
Oh, I see
from
what you're
certain
saying.
sections of the fan base. He'd have had so much more praise and would have been missed by so much like a bigger section of the fan base if they saw him as an academy player.
The
But everyone
problem is
extends
he's
the-
the academy player that went on this on the what's the name?
Also, Alex, there is another big reason, and I will maintain this is a big reason as to why he is not seen as an academy player, or he's not seen in the same light as other
He's
academy
Danish,
players.
no?
Because the passport don't work. The passport ain't the same.
Yeah, it's Danish.
Like
no?
that's unfortunately what it is. Like
So
it's shit.
he was a lot better than Mason Mount as well.
Bro, he's
He's the-
arguably like bar Reece James, he's arguably like since Terry
Second
the best
best.
Yeah, from
academy
the
product
academy.
we've had.
Yeah,
He's the second best academy product we've developed since Terry.
Yeah,
actually.
I
Yeah.
rated him
And
so
people
much.
Yeah, he
and
was
gave
really
him
good.
crap because of stuff, because of like he
The
used to
diarrhea
like
and stuff.
get anxiety before games and shit like that.
He's actually more technical defender that ever Chelsea had. That like he's more like Carvalho type of
Carvalho,
defender
yeah.
versus John Terry. He's
Mhm.
he's that kind of defender. He can. The minute I knew he was going to Spain, I was like, that's his bread and butter. There's more technical in that league players. He's gonna be felt like nothing. And Rudiger, I said he's gonna struggle because Rudiger is the only thing that he is
Rudiger
the
is a
bully.
donkey, bro. Just kicks the ball as
It's
hard
the
as he
pace
can.
and
Man.
power.
Pace and power, exactly.
It says a lot, by the way, the fact that Barcelona had their like best
Yeah.
centre back like since Puyol retired this season,
Mhm.
literally a few months ago, and they haven't missed him at all. Like they've actually improved with Christiansen coming in instead of him.
You mean PK?
So good, man. So
Yes.
good.
I do hear
Like,
that.
PK retired because he was struggling and because he wanted Barca to be able to progress because he wasn't getting paid anyway. Like I don't know what the whole situation was, but he wasn't getting paid like all of his
Yeah,
wages.
he slept with somebody's mom.
And Shakira
Um,
was in there, I believe.
Like
Was it
that he
Pedri's
retired
mom? Pedri's
and they
mom,
got better with Christiansen coming in the team.
Yeah, Christiansen is really good, man. I'm surprised that I actually found one Chelsea fan that actually rates him like Lewis before I even knew Lewis. I was always say Christiansen one of the most talented defenders because I was a defender. I know. I see one. I know one.
I just
Really
find
talented defender.
I just find that his camp saying this is so weird. Like he felt that there was times his ability was doubted. Dude, you played the final of the Champions League. Why?
That's not what it
part of
is.
it.
That's not
It's part
what
of
it
it.
is. If you noticed him for the whole career, he was never from Chelsea fan. Christiansen
Yeah,
is the
I know
face.
that. That
So
that, that
that's
much
what
I
it
know.
that's what it actually means. That article.
They
He
blamed
was
him for
never
Lampard as well.
respected.
They blamed
Look,
him for
yeah.
Lampard getting sacked as
Hold
well.
on a second. If you think that what's his name, Mount, compare him Mount versus him
Oh, of course. It's night and
as
day.
You don't even
as
have
a
to be-
Cobham
no one would
graduate.
defend
Compare
Christensen.
him.
Can I just say, Alex, you don't even have to do the Mount thing because like that's an easy one. Look at the way
Robert
Chalobah
Loftus
is
Cheek.
spoken about. Look at the way not even Loftus Cheek. Look at the way Chalobah.
Caliber. Yeah,
Literally
true.
almost an identical thing where it's like a young centre back come through the academy, perform well. Like Chalobah has his doubters, but a lot of those come from outside of England. Like a lot of the English fans look at the way they speak about Chalobah and see Chalobah going forward with this club, and look at the way that Christiansen was spoken about when, like, for most of his Chelsea career, he was performing at a better level than Chalobah is.
Oh,
And again, I
listen.
like Chalobah, and I think he has a career at Chelsea Football Club. But Christiansen consistently across his Chelsea career, bar one season under Lampard or 2 seasons, whatever it was performing to a higher level. Like, he never got the respect he deserves, and I am convinced, and I will stay convinced till the day I die,
It's
that it's because of the passport. Because
also
of-
because of Terry. Terry came out against him on Instagram, was Twitter, I can't remember, when he said he wasn't giving him
Oh,
his best against
true.
Villa. You remember that?
Remember? Yeah. It was like what? He didn't. He should have toughened it out or something. He walked off injured or something, and it didn't look that bad. I forgot what the situation was, but like under Tuchel, I think Tuchel recognized the
making a
talent and he
mistake.
played him a lot
Should have
more.
got up. But they found out he was injured. He was actually injured. That's why he didn't get up. So Terry came out like a dickhead in that situation.
Oh
but-
yeah, because they ended up scoring from that situation, right? And they didn't call a foul. I don't know. I did rate Christensen. I think towards the end under Tuchel, he was definitely being a lot more respected. I get where under
To
the
be
Barry days and all that.
Here's when the comparison Rudiger and him comparison dies. The problem is Rudiger, Thomas Tuchel, Christensen have done it for a long time. He was defender of the Bundesliga when he was on loan. And that's a high line defense.
Not an easy. I rate defenders that
And
come
he
from
was not
Bundesliga.
playing for Bayern. He was not playing for Dortmund.
Gladbach.
Exactly. It says something when you do that. And to be fair to John Terry actually rated him highly. John Terry, before that whole thing, when he came to Chelsea, became the first one, John Terry rated him. He put him on the spot saying Christensen is something special. I don't know where and how. Maybe Scott is right about the whole thing with the passport, but it's just I just think because he's the quiet person, shy. He's not the guy that beats his chest, like this.
Yeah.
He's not that kind of person. So he's not visible to the public figure. When people say he's like he easily bullied. If you think he's easily bullied, watch Chelsea versus West Ham and tell me if what's his name striker is the weakest striker play for them for West Ham. Antonio. If you think Antonio is the not physical enough, then tell me the physicality of the how you said. If you think Antonio is not a physical, name me the player that's more physical than Antonio. And I'll show you and go watch the game Christiansen versus Antonio in that game every time. The guy is like he looks soft. He's pinky and perky skin. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not the typical guy that looks. Look, I'm telling you, man.
Tough defender, yeah.
The way he places his body, the way the way he puts his legs to get ready to defend. The way he stays on his feet, he lowers his center of gravity to not get beat easy one-on-one. For me, the defender, and compares him to Rudiger, it's laughable, actually.
Do you know what it is laughable as well? Like, and I've just thought of this now, and it's comparisons as well that are made from like, if he did not play for Chelsea Football Club, right, and he was currently playing for Barcelona, or he was like, say he was Spanish, say for example, and he's playing in the Spanish like national team, like he'd be a starting centre back all the time for them. People would have such a different view on him because they'd see how he's performing and go, I want him at our football club. But because like as I said, he came through the academy, or like he didn't necessarily come the whole way through the academy, but because of, like as Alex said, the way he was in terms of like the way because he's quiet, he's not the people like Rudiger or like Zuma when he was here, where it's like they
kick the cats
that would
or puppies.
Like, he doesn't like, he's not outwardly kind of like he like a David Luiz either. Like he's not like outwardly like that. He's quite introverted. Like people just see it as being weak, or people just see it as like he doesn't care about the club or this, that, and the other. Like you don't have to beat your chest and kiss the badge and like pump your arms about everything. Like that doesn't have to be that. Like some people can just be reserved. Some people can just play well because they are just good players. And yeah, I think he is one that if he had not played for us and was playing in Spain now, or was playing in like Italy and was performing at the level now, every single fan of our club would want him.
Yeah,
that says a lot. It says a lot that we've downgraded. Like you can say
exactly. I was just going to point that out.
Players we've brought in, like we haven't replaced him. Like we haven't really replaced Rudiger either, but you can say that Badiashile can maybe be that. We flat out haven't replaced Christiansen. All the people that we've got that we've either promoted from internally or we've got that we've signed, yes, some of them have had other circumstances why they haven't been able to live up to his level yet. None of them have got to his level. None of them have showed the level he was performing at. Maybe not last season at points, because, you know, I get that he had kind of his mind out the door. But, like, certainly the season before, no one's performed to that level.
And watch now in La Liga, Rudiger struggling. Because there's more technical players over there. You cannot sustain this career just based on recovery pace. That's what Rudiger saved a lot. Physicality and recovery. He's really good in recovery balls. Like if he made the mistakes, he's good to go back and fix that. You see what I'm saying? But it doesn't work when you have players like when you have players. The whole league is more technical as compared to the Premier League. You're gonna be struggling because those players they don't have those players like Antonio that bulldozer themselves into the forward position. They smartly outbalance you.
I was gonna say even their big guys, like the guys that are the bigger players, they're actually they're actually fairly technical with their feet.
Yeah.
Like go and look up, like I know some of these players I'm gonna mention, like a couple of these players have like died down, but go and look at like William Jose in his prime when he was playing for Sociedad or Betis, I think. Like he was doing bits. Like he's a big tall guy, but he's got feet. Like a player, for example, like a Sebastian Haller. I know he plays in the Bundesliga, but he'd do brilliant in the La Liga as well. Because even though he's a tall dude, he's really good with the ball at his feet. That's why Ten Hag loved him at Ajax, because he's really good with the ball at his feet. Like, yeah, it's not just a pace. It's not just a pace and power thing in La Liga. This is the thing, and this is why I always say when people say the Premier League is better, it's more entertaining. It's not a better quality league, because technically speaking, if you go to La Liga, the technical level of footballer in a lot of teams is so much better than the technical level in the Premier League, because they're just trained differently, because it's the Spanish way. Like it's like
the thing is, even in the Premier League, you have to have a technical and physicality of the player in the defense. That's why the twos are always the more important than just one. So if you build the team, build the defense, you will rather have one physical present or one technical, and that's it. That's just how it is. In Spain, they both need to be technical. Both. As much as you think that Ramos is not the guy that beats in the chest and stuff, he's the actual one, the technical on that field.
He's the fact that I think early in his career,
who was the one beside him?
Pepe.
Watch position Pepe. What kind of player is Pepe is?
He's technical as well.
He's technical.
He was really underrated in terms of how technical.
Okay, well, let's get the second one beside Ramos. What's his name? Varane.
Varane, yeah.
So if you put the Rudiger and Christiansen, which one is Rudiger? Which one is Varane? Which one is Rudiger? Which one is Christiansen? If you compare them to those two, Ramos and Pepe. Ramos.
You'd say Rudiger is Pepe, and you'd say that Christiansen is Ramos.
Exactly. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So you have to have that thing into your defense. What's his name? Man United, one of the best defensive duos. Rio.
Martinez and you're about the centre backs.
Right.
Yeah, it was before you born, Chris.
Vidic and Rio.
Oh, yes. Vidic and Rio. Okay.
I was there when I watched them.
What you said though about like the centre backs,
I thought you meant now.
Centre backs. Like Wes Brown, like people forget. This is wildly off topic from where we started, but Wes Brown was surprisingly like good on the ball. Wes Brown was actually so much better on the ball than people like remember or give him credit for. And he was.
Oh, you're talking about the defender.
Yeah.
Or the one that went to the Leicester later.
No, that's Johnny Evans, the one that ended up at Sunderland at some point. Like Wes Brown.
Yeah. He's technical as crap, man. That guy is really good, right? That's what are you talking about the person?
I don't know if we're talking about the same people, but I just remember Wes Brown used to be a guy like he was always a backup for United. Like he was like in the same boat as like John O'Shea. He was always a backup.
Is it the bald guy? Fans,
he was a slightly coloured guy, and no, he wasn't bald. I don't think he was anyway. I can't fucking remember. So Marshall, find a picture of Wes Brown.
Yeah,
I got it.
He was surprisingly technical, and the fact that he was always a backup for United, like this is the thing.
Yeah, he's a technical. But anyway, what I was trying to say is Vidic and Rio.
They were brilliant together.
Exactly,
but which ones? Yes, that's the guy.
Oh, okay, yeah. Really he was bald at some point. Yeah, that's
yes, I'm telling you.
I forgot he was bald.
Yeah, he was really technical. Yes.
They signed as well. Like Rio was like signed for like a high fee back then as well, like a mega ton.
He's really talented. He did his job. He came up from he was old. He was actually from the age of Butt. That's when he started his career at United. Jimmy Butt and all of them. So that's why he was on the bench, not because he's not, because he was old. Anyway,
I was reading the comments here. But that was a very good discussion, and I agree with most of what you guys are saying. And I think the biggest point that I came out with that is that Christiansen was good, and we still haven't even replaced the hole that is left in the defense since he left. Rudiger, we'll see what happens with that one. But someone in the comments said I think Badiashile is more of the fit of the Christiansen mold than the Rudiger. So I guess with Fofana, we'll see what happens in the future there. He should be coming back soon as well, I hope, because we haven't seen much of him and this season, and he came at a pricey tag as well. But anyways, guys, I think we're going to end it here. A little bit of a slow week for the transfer window. We'll see what happens with Caicedo. This Wednesday, me, Andrew, Will, and Chris will be back to react to our silly predictions in the beginning of the season for the Premier League. And then we might have some something to react to Friday or Saturday or Thursday. Who knows when I'll do it. We'll see. I think there's a lot of people coming out with some bad takes about a certain, Anyways, on that case, you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. Thank you, Alex, Scott, Chris, Kai, Ahmed, everyone who came on today to have a nice chit chat. Guys, make sure you're smashing the like buttons. Let's get that to 40 likes, hopefully. And then leave a comment down below. Check out the links in the description. Subscribe if you're new, and then hit the bell notification so don't miss any of our future streams. Thank you, everyone, for coming out tonight. We'll catch you at the next stream Wednesday. Peace out. Stay casual.